Welcome to this week's CoroWare briefing for our press briefing. This week's announcement was about CoroWare expanding its CoroCall reseller sales, and specifically we've been growing it through value-added service providers. With me today I have Mike Searcy, who's the business unit manager for video conferencing. We have Shannon Gerard, who's our corporate secretary, but has been very involved with growing this business, and David Hyams, our CTO, who is on the back end, manning the pump sometimes, and actually making a lot of the infrastructure work, including things like the billing infrastructure, which we'll talk a little bit about. So we announced, Mike, that we just grown our business. We've been doing that gradually and actually kind of growing in jumps here and there, which is great. And we've also signed a 3-year reseller agreement for our business class video conferencing service. And tell me a little bit about the resellers and what are called value-added service providers.
Sure. So it would be good to understand how we got to where we are, maybe how we began. But we began marketing this subscription service to the small to medium-sized business space. And as we did that and developed our reseller channel, we found vertical applications and businesses that other folks were satisfying, where the video conferencing service was an enhancement to that particular type of business. Right. So as we discovered those, because of the way our platform is designed, because of some of the things that David's going to talk to you about later, we've been able to design some very flexible systems, so to speak, and services that are aimed directly at those particular applications that the value-added resellers are addressing. You mentioned a 3-year contract with a recent value-added provider, and that's in the healthcare space. We have businesses that are marketing solely to the educational world through some very creative activities, remote field trips and things that Shannon may talk about in a minute. But those things are all possible because of the flexibility and the programmability, so to speak, of our system and the way it works.
Okay. And some of these customers you mentioned were in the field trip kind of area with education. Shanna, I think you've worked with some of these customers, in fact.
Yep. Yeah, it allows them, their customers, to extend their reach around an entire state, or even more than one state, so that kids can participate in field trips now where they couldn't in the past. You don't have to try and get parents who can be chaperones and keep everyone corralled. Right. So everyone gains from that opportunity. And then in addition, we have some resellers who are hardware sellers who want to have an option to offer some of their customers who want a really good video conference room but don't want to put in all the infrastructure. And this gives them that ability to add a little bit more customer service to those customers and gradually grow that customer's video conferencing use. So we've really been able to tailor our business to how our partners are trying to grow their businesses.
Okay. And, Mike, in this we talked about value-added service providers and some of the infrastructure, some of the tools we provide. We mentioned billing as one example, but generically or generally speaking, what are those resellers looking for, and what is it we provide for them?
Well, what resellers are looking for is not just a one-size-fits-all solution. And so what we've been approached, by our resellers with different requirements for the packages that they want to offer. Right. And so we are able, because we're able to manage and monitor and evaluate our systems at a very precise level, we're able to craft packages and plans that are economically very competitive. We find that there are very few people in our market space that can compete with the pricing that we're able to offer. And again, that's primarily because of some of the flexibility and capabilities we have.
Okay. And so, Dave, you're intimately involved with the back-end infrastructure, things like billing and all that. So tell us a little bit about what it is that we do provide.
Thank you, Lloyd. One of the most important things I think that we can offer the customers of our service is the ability to customize, monitor, and extend the service very rapidly at very reasonable rates. I'll just show you a couple quick examples here. Here is an example, for instance, of a report that we see nightly coming from our usage reporting system and uploading to the billing system. And this gives us an idea of the type of information, type of records that were being generated by the billing system. This is triggered by a process, as I mentioned, that runs nightly, that allows us in a modular fashion to be able to customize that usage data into either billing information or performance information,
right,
or even information that might be utilized in CRM systems. So the idea there is customization very rapidly at a reasonable cost. This is kind of the cornerstone of our back-end cloud-based infrastructure.
So if, say, somebody had another service to complement it, because they're a value-added service provider, could we dovetail this into our system so we can also rate those and do the mediation for those new services?
We can easily customize plans and usage records so that they can bill for different commodities, different types of offered services.
Right.
We can go ahead and forward usage information that shows how the reseller's been doing for past history and help with predictive forecasting.
Okay.
And also, more importantly, sometimes be able to show them the health and operation of their system to ensure that their customers are getting the best quality service.
So when somebody says, well, I've already got my own billing system, I don't want to change anything, but I do want this service, can we dovetail in with that?
We can get the interface requirements and send them the data that they need in the format they need to be able to do their own billing. We also have the ability to offer, with our billing partner, a prepackaged billing service. So we're quite flexible when it comes to billing.
Okay. So Mike, I guess going back to this, we're signing up new value-added service providers all the time. You're looking for more. You're looking for an internet service provider, an application service provider. Shannon, you said a reseller. It could be a video conferencing reseller, right? So how do they find us? How do they get to you, Mike? How do they reach you?
Well, if you want to, there's a couple of ways, of course. You can go to CoroWare.com. You can call, you can write me at mcersey@CoroWare.com.
Or sales at CoroWare.com.
Or sales at CoroWare.com for that matter. So
there you go. Yeah. And also our number, 800-641-2676. And use option 1. You can reach Mike that way as well. And with that, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank Dave, Shanna, Mike for this. And look forward also, Dave, we can have a webinar on the billing system itself and the things we do. So looking forward to that as well. Thanks very much.